Hello, it's been forever. Happy super full moon in Gemini. Who's around? It has been a minute since I've been able to be on. Just going to wait for some people to jump on, just saying hello to everybody. I'm actually really excited to do this forecast and to really reconnect with everybody. So I'm just going to wait for some people to jump on, see how everybody's been. Hi, Jen. How are you? It's been a minute. It's been a while. I've missed you. Hey, Dominique. Just waiting for some people to... Lex gave up her alchemy class tonight so we could do this full moon. Because I wanted to make sure... I've missed you too, Dominique. I wanted to make sure that... we got this full moon in at a time where we had the West Coast and the East Coast was able to jump in live if they wanted to as well. So I appreciate you, Dominique, Alexis, for giving up your time to do this. Hi, Khaled. How are you? I'm just going to wait for some people to jump on so we can get this party started. I am so excited for this. So excited. I'm actually going to see if I can turn this off because this light's just a little bit bright. Just a little bright. You know. I guess it's better than it being too dark, right? Hey, Kat. Let's see if this is a little better. Doesn't make that much of a difference, but that's okay. I'll figure it out better next time. Just letting some people jump on. It's so good to see everybody and to be back on, to be able to start sharing and working with people again. Because this year has been something, hasn't it? It has been, it's been quite frankly a mess, an absolute chaos. And we're finishing off with a pretty powerful full moon. And it's a super moon, and going into the new year with an amazing energy. So if you work with this full moon and you really allow yourself to move with the energy and have an open mind and tune into it, the possibilities and opportunities that will open up for you are going to be endless. But 2026 is going to be the year we fix. 2025 was the year we knew we were alive, and that was no joke, literally. Everybody knew they were alive in 2025. We're all feeling it in so many ways and on so many levels. But now we're to the point where we can absolutely start focusing on what we need to, especially on an individual basis, to facilitate the change that we need to facilitate to fix things in 2026. So it's going to be a lot of work that I'm going to be doing in shadow work to help people move through some things and some shadows to help them heal and evolve and transform their life in ways that are going to be absolutely unbelievable and amazing. So let's get this party started, okay? Okay, so December 4th, 2025, full moon in Gemini. So once again, it has come time for us to look to the stars and see not only what this lunar cycle has in store for us, but how best to close out 2025 in the most peaceful, yes, I said it, peaceful and harmonious way possible. I know better than anybody that 2025 has been one hell of a year for all of us, for so many reasons, on so many different levels. A lot of what has transpired seemed most to be out of their, seemed to be most out of our control due to all the chaos causing confusion and the lack of clarity. But the good news is, with this lunar cycle, that all changes now. This lunar cycle right now, today, it changes, but there's so much going on, okay? So it all changes now. The full moon's energy is giving you the opportunity to take your power back and gain control over your life once more. To the last super full moon in Gemini, as it reaches its apex. Our full moon today reached its apex at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:14 p.m. my time, Pacific time, and is a glorious full moon. She is. But she's not only glorious, she's powerful and transformational, and one that is centered in honesty and truth. More importantly, being honest and truthful with yourself and where you're at in your life right now. Everything is truly coming full circle right now, and I know you all are feeling it. I know you guys are feeling everything right now. You have to take a breath. You have to take a step back. You have to allow yourself to feel what's going on, to breathe, and kind of take a look out of it. Put yourself in a position where you're outside looking in so you can get a clearer picture. Hi, everybody. I've missed you all so much. I'm back, and I'm back with bells on. We're going to get it in this year coming up. Lots going on. A lot. So it's all coming for full circle right now, and I know that you are all feeling it. And we all have the opportunity this month to reflect and receive. I'm hanging in there. I'm doing great because I'm back online with you guys. So to hear and understand the soft whispers of wisdom and endings, and offering us an invitation to honor all that is coming to completion in our lives before we release it. So like I said, you need to take a breath, sit back, and listen. Take the opportunity to reflect. And all of these feelings, this full moon, like I said, is about honesty and truth. And it's subtly allowing things to come up. So even though it's a powerful moon and a transformational moon, it's allowing things to rise gently so you can truly take a look at it and see things for how they are, and see what serves you and what no longer serves you. See the things that are holding you back. Seeing the things that you know you need to let go of, no matter how hard it is, because it's going to be best for you and for others that are in your life. Sometimes, and this is for somebody, you need to let go. Sometimes you just need to let go. Sometimes love just isn't enough. Sometimes to truly love somebody is to let them go, because it's what's best for both of you. So evidently that is for somebody. Hi, Rach. I talked to your dad, and I'm so sorry to hear about your grandma, and all my love and healing, for your family goes out to you guys. And I told your dad when I was talking to him, taking just a split second, because your grandmother came through when I was on the phone with your dad, and I said, you want to hear what your mom just came up and had to say? Because I was focusing on your grandpa for a second, and your grandmother popped in. He goes, what's my mom have to say? And I said, it's really odd. Your mom was so surprised. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Your grandmother was so surprised. She was taken aback, and she says, I can't believe I'm gone. I wasn't ready to go. I told your father, your grandmother was not ready to leave this world. She was not interested in leaving this world. And it really took her by surprise that she was actually gone. And, your dad explained to me that was right on point, that she wasn't ready to go, that she didn't want to leave, that, excuse my teeth. I have lipstick on my teeth. I apologize. That her body just gave up on her, and sometimes it happens, but she really is with you. And I do believe that with the struggle that your uncle's going through with cancer right now, she was holding on, that she is going to stay around, and she is going to take him home when he's ready to cross over, because that is going to be hard for everybody involved, especially your dad. So she's going to be here with him, and is going to bring him home, as is, believe it or not, your grandfather as well. But yeah, I know she was, but she wasn't ready to go. And when she came through and she said that, I was like, wow. I was like, okay. And he got it. He understood the message. So, okay. So let me continue with this full moon. It's everything, like I said, is coming full circle right now. And I know that we're all feeling it. We all have the opportunity this month to reflect and to receive, to hear and understand the soft, subtle whispers of wisdom in endings, and offering us an invitation to honor all that is coming to completion in our lives before we release it. When we simply come to the realization it's time to let go. This Gemini full moon is what some might call a karmic checkpoint on our soul's journey due to the nodes of faith being involved. How powerful is that? I'm so glad you jumped on to say hi. And yes, of course, I will be posting it and cross-posting it on other social media apps. So you know it. And if you have any questions, just let me know. So this Gemini full moon is what some might call a karmic checkpoint on our soul's journey due to the nodes of fate being involved. Now, this is a big deal. Whenever we hear karmic, it's a big deal. But what's great about it is you can kind of rectify and make right things now. Hey, well, so we don't carry it into next lifetime or what comes next when we leave this current lifetime. Okay? So we have come to a crossroads right now where our past mastery and our future growth meet, and decisions need to be made. You can no longer be complacent in your life. So right now, like I said, it's a crossroads where our past mastery and our future growth meet, and decisions need to be made. You can no longer be complacent in your life. You can no longer be a bystander. It's time to come to terms, to release, and start moving forward, to start living again and living your life again. You know, focusing on what's going on in your life, in your family, in your world, in your community, and doing what you need to make your life and your world better. Because that in turn is going to change the world around you. You can no longer sit still, but it's up to you to do what needs to be done. Can't do it for you. I can do a full moon live with you. I could sit there and do sessions with you. I can help you map out an entire plan. But if you take that information and choose to sit on it and do nothing, then nothing will change. And you will get even more frustrated and upset, and for some even more angry. But the only person you're going to be able to blame is yourself. So this is your wake-up call. This is your chance to change. No more complacency, okay? The moon in Gemini is squaring the nodes of fate, like I said. The south node is in Virgo, and the north is in Pisces. This is creating a place of tension where our old ways of being are challenged to make the space for a new, more spiritually aligned path. Now, I don't know what you guys think. But not only do we need to have a more spiritually aligned path, but our entire world right now needs that more than ever. Now, not only does the super full moon happening in Gemini offer us an opportunity to see with more clarity how the stories we tell ourselves, those colorful narratives, and boy, can we tell a story. I know I can. Oh my God, yes, this full moon is disruptive. This full moon, well, you're going to have to go back and listen to it. This full moon has so much energy and so much going on. It's all about truth and honesty. It's all about the truth coming to the surface. Everything's becoming more clear where you actually can see things exactly for what they are. It's where it's a karmic Like I said earlier, I'm going back, guys, sorry. It's a karmic checkpoint on our soul's journey. So it's where the old meets the future, where decisions need to be made, where we have the opportunity to see things clearly and to make the decisions, to see things for how they are and to let go of what we need to let go, whether we like it or not, because we know it's the right thing to do for us and for other people. So definitely go back and listen after I publish this to the little bit of the beginning, because there's a little bit of a message in there as well. Because I don't want to be redundant. Let's just put it that way. Hi, Rosa. What if I'm not sure what part of my life needs to change and what I need to let go of? As I go through the rest of this full moon, I'm going to try to stay on point. What that is going to do is that is going to explain a little bit more to do. Okay, but it is honestly sitting with the energy and allowing yourself to feel and to look at the things in your life. Okay, but the rest of what I'm going to be explaining is going to explain a little bit more of that. Okay, also, if you're really not sure, but you know things need to change, and there's a couple of angles in your life that I know that you're struggling with right now, Grace. You know, you are more than welcome to message me and we could book a session. I do believe that you need a healing session, like a soul retrieval. And what that will do is bring some things into light for you that you can release and heal, as well as doing a session where it kind of lays your path out in front of you, where you're at right now, and do what we call a crossroads session, which will help give you clarity. So you always have the option of doing that with me or with somebody else. Thank you so much, Ashley, that you trust to work with, who has your best interest at heart. But this full moon will explain more of it as I go through the explanation. Okay, so this full moon happening in Gemini offers an opportunity to see with more clarity how the stories we tell ourselves, those colorful narratives, how they impact and shape our perception of reality. But it happens to be the last in the trilogy, also a super moon. So this is also the last super moon. Our first one was in October. Okay, and it ignited. I have to do a shout out. Okay, look at these beautiful nails. Okay, holiday nails, but I'm getting a new set next week. Nails by Ben, for anybody that's in Orange County, I have to give him a shout out, is my nail tech. Finally, after being in Orange County since 2019, in California since the end of 2019, Orange County since 2020, I found a nail technician that is so talented, and he is an artist. So this is how I have living art that changes every time I get my nails done. He hand did everything, hand built and designed each nail. Totally obsessed. So if you ever have a shot, I'm doing a chance, I'm shouting him out. You definitely want to hit him up, okay? Absolutely, Grace. I'll be looking for it. So I had shameless. I had to do it because I'm just so impressed with him and the work that he does. So incredibly talented. You should have seen what my Halloween nails look like. I'll have to post them. Anyway, totally a girl moment. I know. But we had a trilogy in super full moons, and this one is even more important and amazing. But October's full moon, what that did was that ignited. Okay. November's awakened. And this one, December, is bringing it all full circle. Emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Not only that, but it is in an amazing position where this particular super full moon is located, is within a rare astronomical cycle known as the major lunar standstill. This phenomenon causes the moon to reach extreme heights in the sky roughly every 18 to 19 years. So it only happens every 18 to 19 years. This is one of the highest rising full moons we will see until 2042. So it is right now looking bigger, brighter, closer, more elevated, and more glorious than it ever has. And now this heightened lunar ascent ushers in, for us, a lifting of perspective, a culmination that invites us to see our lives from a broader vantage point, to connect the dots and recognize the meaning behind the journey that we have all been traveling through this past year, this past, what some might call trifling year, interesting year. And you'll come to find in what happens in the years to come, although for some it has been horrific, it has been very challenging. A lot has gone on. There's been a lot of chaos and confusion, and a lot of horrible events have taken place, and a lot of sadness that's happened. A lot of evil has transpired over this past year. Within the coming years, it's going to transform things, and you'll find that although the things that have happened that is horrible, it's going to usher in some necessary changes that's going to bring light into the world, because people are waking up now and starting to see and starting to understand. And I think we have the chance to evolve and to ascend on a broader scale, especially because now we understand we can't wait any longer. We have to do it as individuals. We can't stand by anymore. You know, we have to be, quote, the change we want to see in the world. Okay? And charity also starts at home and with our own communities, within our own communities. Okay, so to connect the dots and recognize the meaning behind the journey that we've all been traveling through this past year, you are being given, we are all being given right now an invitation, right now, this month, a ticket to level up going into 2026. An ascension. It's up to you to accept it. I ask you, are you going to? I already have. And I am so excited for what's to come and for what's going to happen this coming year. But I am in the driver's seat of what's going to happen this year for me and for my family. And you can be in the driver's seat too. Okay? So, I will try to answer questions as we go through. Okay? But let's dive a little deeper now. The moon is in Gemini, because it's not just the moon. We have other things going on, you know, up in the stars and the planets that kind of affect everything. So the moon is in Gemini, and the sun being in Sagittarius are squaring the nodes of the moon in Pisces and Virgo. What this does is this is what increases the karmic significance of this full moon and of all the events that are taking place this month. And it is a lot. This is a lot to happen. And it all happens, you know, during the holidays and everything that goes on and all the craziness. And, you know, when we come into the winter months and winter solstice, it's really a time that, you know, it's a time of hibernation where we're supposed to settle in and rest and heal and rejuvenate and reflect and grow. But we're also in a position where we have to be so active and connect and celebrate. And it's not easy for a lot of people. And you have to remember as well that a lot of people are alone on the holidays or don't celebrate the same holidays that you do. So be aware of these people. And be respectful and have compassion and be kind, because we're not all the same, you know, but we are humans. So we should show kindness and compassion for each other. So let's talk about the lunar nodes, because this is really important. Lunar nodes are the points up. This is what they do. They're the points of destiny, karmic lessons, and evolution. They show us our collective evolutionary direction and illustrate qualities that we are now being asked to consciously draw into ourselves so that we have the tools needed to grow and break repetitive cycles. Generational curses even, which are a thing. And right now, generational curses have come to play in a lot of people's lives and a lot of people that I work with. This is the energy and your opportunity to break them, to break those repetitive cycles, to effectively make a positive change in your life. The North Node, being in Pisces is calling us to surrender control, to not micromanage. Listen, some of my peoples out there. The North Node, being in Pisces, I say it again, is calling us to surrender control, to not micromanage, and to find ways to create a sense of order in our world without becoming overly rigid and detached from the present moment. And excuse my Jersey, to not have a stick up your ass, okay? To cool it, to calm yourself, to relax. Because sometimes when you're so rigid and you're micromanaged, you miss so much that's going on around you. Where if you took a breath and you stepped back and you balanced your energy, the answers you're looking for or the things that you need to complete the things you're micromanaging are in your grasp. But because you weren't looking outside here, you don't get there. I know. I had a feeling you were going to feel that, Lex. I did. But you and I talk about that all the time. Kat just needs to take a breath and sit back and allow herself to breathe and remove herself from the chaos. Okay, so where am I? To create a sense of order in our world without becoming overly rigid and detached from the present moment. Okay. I love it. You originally immediately connected and started laughing. We are being called right now to use our deep investigative power to finally cut loose from the South Node in Virgo. The South Node in Virgo's shadow. So we all know Virgo's nature, don't we? Okay. Which is to cut loose from being a perfectionist, from over-analysis, and critical focus on minute details that distract us from being able to feel our deeper emotional and spiritual needs. Now understand, and I am saying it sarcastically so we all get it. You don't have to be a Virgo to be affected by Virgo energy because of what nodes we're being affected by right now and the way the stars and planets are aligned. Okay. So hi Doreen. So you're going to be feeling a certain way because of this. So it's just giving you a heads up on why you might be feeling a certain way and what you need to do. So if bells are ringing in your head, listen and re-listen to this and be aware so that you can create a plan to maneuver your way through this month, but also to break free from those old cycles, to heal from generational curses, to be able to call in that energy from all those opportunities and possibilities that basically have been lying in wait for you for so long, for you to wake up and decide to let go of what doesn't serve you. And so many people hold on to things because they love somebody so much, or because of loyalty, or because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Honestly, in the long run, it's going to be worse if you wait, okay? Now, so we went through that. Distract us from being able to feel our deeper emotional and spiritual needs, which we've been talking about. Now, having Jupiter retrograde in Cancer the ruler of the North Node in Pisces, and the Sun in Sagittarius, it expands our emotional capacity. It gives us the feels. So this full moon is giving us the feels, and the fact that it's a super full moon at its highest point that it's going to be for like the next 18 to 19 years is, you know, amplifying the whole thing. It gives us the feels on a broader, more intense scale. I got myself all excited. I forgot where I was. So, how do we work our way through these emotions and the intensity? Take a breath. Balance your energy. Expand and allow yourself to feel and flow. Woosah. Do you ever see Bad Boys? Woosah. And he actually pinches his ears because it's a pressure point. So it helps release. Anyway, I'm very animated today, aren't I? It's just because I missed you guys so much. So excited to be here. So you want to breathe, balance, expand, and allow yourself to feel and to flow. And honestly, allow yourself to feel. It's not a bad thing. Whether, you know, I actually do a class or sessions that help people acknowledge and feel their emotions and be able to work through them, you know, from sadness to frustration to anxiety to anger to joy, love, all of the emotions that we go through, the emotions that are actually natural to us and the emotions that are actually man-made that we were not born with. And one of those emotions are guilt. But feelings are important. They're a natural part of our makeup. And we were put on this planet as humans to have the human experience and everything that comes with it. So these emotions are normal, and it's normal to feel them, and it's healthy. So you have to allow yourself to feel these emotions. And the biggest thing is allowing them to flow through you so you don't get stuck in them, because they evolve and they move. So it's a good thing. So you have to allow yourself to flow with these emotions, okay? So this full moon, like I said, gives us the feels on a broader, more intense scale. So take a breath, balance, expand, and allow yourself to feel and flow. Yes, feelings are meant to be felt, 100%. Trust your intuition and where it leads. Surrender. Surrender is an amazing thing when you allow yourself to do it. It feels amazing to just simply surrender in every way. Softly trust and feel the spiritual connection to the divine, because you are all connected to the divine. And when you get yourself in this state, you can feel it. And let their light guide you. Let the divine's light guide you. Okay? They are asking us to heal the Virgoian urge to fix ourselves, and instead to follow the flow of the Piscean path of accepting ourselves with all of our beautiful, messy, imperfectly perfect human selves. Life is never going to be perfect. It's going to have ups and downs, hills and valleys. We're going to mess up. We're going to say shit that we wish we didn't say. We're going to lose our shit, excuse my Jersey, every once in a while and go, oh, why did I do that? Why did I say that? We're going to get emotional. It's okay. It's human. You're human, okay? So because both of these luminaries are now squaring the nodes, activating the 4 mutable signs, we actually call what's going on now with all of the nodes and all of these signs coming together the 4 mutable signs, we call this a mutable cross because that's what it forms. Maria, I'm not ignoring you, sweetheart. It's wonderful to see you, but this is the full moon live, so it's not something where people come on. But I miss you, I see you, I acknowledge you, and I love you fierce. So what it's called is a mutable cross. And what this full moon is about, it's not only about the feels. It's not only about truth and honesty and being completely honest with ourselves and acknowledging this narrative that we've been creating that isn't necessarily the real story of our lives. It's what we like to tell ourselves. It's also a time of learning. So this full moon and lunar cycle is about learning and what it teaches us. So this lunar cycle, it is teaching us to be flexible, curious, open to change and new experiences, but to be smart. Okay, so listen to what I said. It's teaching us to be flexible, curious, open to change and new experiences. And I'm all about that. I am. But also to be smart, to be discerning, to use our heads. People don't always do that. Believe me, common sense rules here, guys. And we all were born with common sense. It's in there. Even the people you think that don't have it, it's there. Okay. Common sense are there. What do, Ash? We take a breath. We step back. We breathe. We balance. We expand. We allow ourselves to see and accept the truth. And out of everything you've gone through over the past time, my God, over what, the past 6 years that I've known you. Has it been 6 years now? I think it's been 6 years, almost 7, I think. Out of all of that, I think you've learned, and I think you've learned to discern between things and when you need to accept things and own up to things that belong to you and that belong to others. And I think you've learned how to agree to disagree when you need to, which is important. There's been so much growth. Okay, so where are we? All right, so use common sense. You guys all got it. Believe me, it's there. Okay. Now that the 4 mutable signs have been activated during this lunar cycle, we are called to find ways to harmonize logic, bring them into balance, and intuition. Because you can't harmonize the both of them, logic and intuition, surrender and effort, faith and discernment. And we have an opportunity to examine how the stories we are unconsciously telling ourselves are shaping our path and our lives. It is all coming into the light, and we are able to see the truth right now of what we allow, or if we allow ourselves to. So it's about surrendering and allowing yourself to see the truth and being, okay, I get it. Okay. If things aren't going quite right, or things are crazy or wonky, if you're sick, if you're not healthy, if you're not feeling right, if somebody's doing something or something keeps happening to you over and over and over and over again, it's happening for a reason. You already have the answer and you know it. You have to take a step back and see the truth for what it is, judgment-free, and accept it. And if it's something that you had a hand in, own up to it. It's okay. It's never too late. Not a big deal. It's called being human, and we're all human. Every last one of us. And that's the beauty of life and the experience we're having. You know, and being able to look back on where we were a few years ago to where we are now, and to be able to go from where we are right now. And if what we do, what this lunar cycle is calling us to do, to where we're going to be a year from now. And I'm telling you, my word right now is glorious. It's going to be glorious if you help it along. But you have to choose to help it, and you have to do the work. And a lot of that is surrendering and accepting and moving out out of your own damn way. Okay? So, now, this super full moon could just shed light on some inner conflicts. So I had a question earlier, like, is this like an upheaval type of full moon? Yes, because it's all about truth and things rising to the surface. This is the truth. So some of the things that it can do is you're going to find that it's going to illuminate and could be shedding some light and have it rise to the surface on some inner conflicts that have been raging within you for a while. The things that have been going on underneath the surface within you or within your life. Okay, some things you might have pushed under the rug or turned a blind eye to, or some things within you that you just weren't ready to face. Okay, they're all coming up right now. This is normal. Don't get scared. This is not a bad thing. This is a good thing if you choose to work with it the right way. So what you want to do right now, because all of this information is so important, you want to take note of every single thing that happens over the coming weeks, because it carries a strong meaning. Every event, conversations, they're all likely to be unusually charged. And the decisions that we make right now and over the next few weeks will have an unexpected long-term impact. So it's saying unexpected long-term impact, but I'm giving you an in, letting you know that with what's going on over the next few weeks, with things that are coming to the surface and the decisions you're going to be making in your life are going to have unexpected long-term impact, which means, guess what? They're no longer unexpected. You now know they're going to have a long-term impact. So you just got an in. You just got the inside scoop before it even happened. You know, that's what's so great about full moon forecasts, because you get information where some people don't necessarily pay attention. But you have an understanding of why you're feeling certain ways, why certain things are going on, what to watch out for, you know, that kind of thing. Now, Sagittarius right now is connected to the right, is Sagittarius, so you know that sign, is connected to the right hemisphere of our brain and is where our intuition actually originates. Gemini is connected to the left. All right, sweetheart, I'll talk to you later. You are absolutely welcome. It will be published. And I love you, fierce. Have an amazing evening. So Gemini is connected to the left side of the brain, which is where we find rational thought and thinking. Gemini is in the here and now. So that rational thinking part of the brain is in the here and now, accessing information that is around us. Where Sagittarius expands our line of sight and looks at the bigger picture and what's to come and the possibilities. So it's our ability to kind of know what's coming, the intuition, and our ability to dream and put things into action. Okay? So these signs, Gemini and Sagittarius, that are married together right now, is a huge blessing because it enlightens us and enables us at the same time to understand ourselves and our realities, our surroundings as a whole. So this is a good thing, okay? Now, the opposing sun in Sagittarius and moon in Gemini call us to, get this, practice patience and holding contradicting truths at once. I couldn't read my own writing. I have horrible writing. And holding contradicting truths at once and being open-minded and allow contradictions to exist. Embracing paradox rather than trying to solve or change. I have a question. A long time ago, you mentioned me moving somewhere else in Florida, but I don't remember to where. I'm not sure where, but I might have saved. I usually saved all those lives. So if you go back through the lives, I know it might be tedious. It should be in there. But you know, a lot of times when I get information, it's just spirit comes through at that time. So offhand, and I'm not focusing on that because I'm in a different mindset right now. What do you call it? But I do know you were you were meant to move and supposed to be moving and not staying where you were at. So if that's happening, that's what's supposed to be happening. All right, where am I at? And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ignore you. You know that. So now the opposing sun in Sagittarius and the moon in Gemini calls us to practice patience in holding contradicting truths at once and being open-minded and allow contradictions to exist, embracing paradox rather than trying to solve or change. Right now, we have the amazing opportunity to tap into the clarity we are being provided and revisit thoughts and conversations or situations that may have occurred a few weeks back, especially during Mercury retrograde, and we can obtain a better understanding of why we experienced what we did. All right, so I'm going to go through that again. Right now, the opposing sun in Sagittarius and moon in Gemini cause us to practice patience, holding contradicting truths at once, and being open-minded and allowing contradictions to exist, embracing paradox rather than to try to solve or change. Right now, we have the amazing opportunity to tap into the clarity we're being provided and revisit any thoughts, conversations, or situations that it may have occurred a few weeks back, especially during Mercury retrograde, and we can obtain a better understanding of why we experienced what we did. Thank you so much, Doreen. I appreciate that. Just so you know, and I can't go into it because that's not what this is about, and it's not fair. But when I just get real quick because Spirit's giving it to me and I can't ignore Spirit, Maria, I know that you're supposed to be moving somewhere up north, but it's going to be more up north centralized in Florida, so up north, so it's not going to be on a coast per se. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean it's going to be in the middle. It's going to be more north, I think, more up towards the Orlando area, but not Orlando itself. But I'm getting it's supposed to be north, but more center versus east or west. That central east or central west. I'm sorry, north, central, west side. If that makes any sense to you. All right, so now we already did that. Reality as a whole. So now the opposing sun in Sagittarius and moon in Gemini call us to practice patience. And we already did that. Now see, I'm getting thrown off. All right, we already did that. So now, I'm sorry about the repeat. I got myself confused. Hey, Mama, how are you? So full moon opposite Venus and Mars. Right now, the full moon in Gemini is in wide opposition to both Venus and Mars in Sagittarius, as well as the black moon Lilith, in which is tightly conjunct with Venus. You're okay, sweetheart. I had to give you the answer, but I got myself confused. Spirit told me to give you the answer, and I hope that it helped. And thank you. I appreciate it very much. I love you guys fierce. So right now, the full moon in Gemini is in wide opposition to both Venus and Mars in Sagittarius, as well as the black moon Lilith, which is conjunct tight with Venus. Now, what this does is highlight the tension between what we are, what we need, and what we desire, and also has lowered our tolerance for frustration and delays. This is interesting about when this came up in the live today. Okay, so right now, the full moon in Gemini, I'm saying it again. Yes, it does. Could be. Right now, the full moon in Gemini is in wide opposition to both Venus and Mars in Sagittarius, as well as the black moon Lilith, which is conjunct tight with Venus. Now, what this does is highlight the tension between what we are in need and what we desire, and also has lowered our tolerance for frustration and delays. Conjunction between Venus and the black moon Lilith are both widely conjunct with the sun. So a lot is going on here. It's exactly, you got exactly what I meant, Mama. I didn't want to call it out, but it's so funny that you came in at that point in this full moon live when this part came up. So it's like so straight to the point and in your face. So I think you're supposed to go a little bit further up north past Vero Beach, and you're supposed to be a little bit further in, because Vero Beach is up north, but it is on the East Coast. So it can be on the east side, but further in west. So you're in, you're not on the ocean itself, you're in further. So it absolutely could be, but I think it's a little bit more on the north side. So that's really interesting that it happened, Mama. And spirit works amazing, doesn't it? All right, so little tolerance for frustration and delays. So the conjunction between Venus and the black moon Lilith are both widely conjunct with the sun. So a lot is going on here. What this has done, okay, so what this alignment has done, listen, is increase our need. Oh my God, it's like singing to the choir. Has increased our need for intense connection and intimacy. The alignment focuses upon our need for authentic relationship, intense, true relationships where we are free to express every facet of who we are and our true self. Black Moon Lilith just may bring to the surface suppressed desires we may have rejected or judged, and it is calling on us to reconnect with our primal, instinctive, wild nature. And I have to do this right now because she knows why I'm saying this. Bam. Okay? If you know, you know. And now you know. Okay? Hi, Diana. Hi, Harley. How are you guys? So this opposition to the moon may highlight the tension between our need for emotional safety and comfort and our desire for relationships that are pure, real, intense, raw, and rooted in truth, passion, fire, rather than pleasing, comfort, or performance. So this is all coming about. So I want you to be aware and act accordingly. Okay? Because as Mars comes into play and can activate a surge, okay? So you see all the stuff that's going on with like the black, with conjunction between Venus and the black moon Lilith, and being conjunct with the sun, and all of this stuff that's going on, which is a lot, and all of these feelings and the truth and the honesty and the urges and all this stuff that's happening, and all the things we're supposed to be working out, and we're supposed to be taking a breath and being aware, and all of this stuff that we just went over for the past 45 minutes. Okay? So, this opposition, you want to be aware and act accordingly, because Mars comes into play and can activate a surge in our urge to speak out without thinking, to make impulsive decisions, and to overreact. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys are being amazing tonight, all these compliments. So I'm going to say that again for everybody who needs to hear this, because some of us, including me, already have a tendency to say what we think, and sometimes we don't think before we say it. It just comes out. So Mars comes into play right now with everything that's going on and can activate a surge in our urge to speak out without thinking and to make impulsive decisions and to overreact. So being in Sagittarius, Mars is feisty and drawn to fight for what it believes in, what is right. The truth is everything. Opposing the full moon This combustible combination of energy can reflect tendencies to fight unnecessary ideological based battles that only drain us and lead us further away from our needs. Anger and other intense emotions that usually you can keep at bay could rise to the surface with a fierceness like you have never seen. That's why you really got to be aware and try to balance that energy. The Mars, there's ways to be able to express yourself and say things without the bomb going off, you know. So the Mars-Moon opposition asks for, right now, okay, so the Mars-Moon opposition asks for honest emotional expression and will make it hard to hide your true feelings. This aspect sheds light on why it is important to express your needs, to say no when you need to. Now understand this. This aspect sheds light on why it is important to express your needs, to say no when you need to. It's okay to say no. And it's imperative. It is important, the importance of setting boundaries before you actually reach the point of breaking down emotionally, and it forces you to react in a destructive and disproportionate way. Would you say it's normal to be socially drained during this time? 100%. Because of the time of year and what's going on, just because of the holidays, because of what's going on, because the days are shorter and it gets darker earlier, because of the weather, because of what everybody's feeling, everything that happens this time of year. And technically, like I said earlier, this is a time that we are all supposed to, the winter months, the winter solstice is coming up, where we're supposed to kind of draw ourselves in, and it's a form of hibernation and heal and reflect and allow ourselves to basically, you know, it's a little bit of a cocooning process where you allow yourself to heal and grow and reflect. But the time of year and what's going on honestly does not allow that. And society really doesn't allow that right now. We're really supposed to be in tune with nature and honoring the cycles. You know, there's circadian rhythm. And naturally back in the day, you know, humans, we fell in line with it, but because of technology and everything else, we don't anymore. So you're going to be exceptionally drained. And with what this energy, with what this full moon and what's going on and the alignment of the planets is happening, it is amplifying it. So it is crazy what this energy is. So you have to show yourself some kindness and reverence and give yourself the time to breathe and balance, you know. And be very loving and forgiving of yourself, and be non-apologetic of taking the time you need to recharge yourself, and try to avoid being around other people that drain you, because a lot of people this time of year are going to be like psychic vampires, energy vampires, and they will drain you. So like it's saying, you want to get to the point where you set those boundaries. It's really, really important. So Mars and Moon's opposition, I'm going to, you know, repeat that. Ask for honest emotional expression. So it makes it hard for you to hide your feelings, but there is a way to express them positively. This aspect sheds light on why it is important to express your needs, to say no when you need to, and the importance of setting boundaries before you reach the point of breakdown emotionally, and it causes you to react in a destructive and disproportionate way. So take the time you need. It's okay to say no. Set the boundaries. And let people know what's going on. Okay? So here we go. Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus are all forming a kite pattern. As the full moon in Gemini reaches its apex, Mercury, the ruler of the sign, is in Scorpio, forming what is called a grand water trine with Jupiter, Cancer, and Saturn in Pisces. Love you too, Mama. I'm going to be publishing it, and I will see you soon. Uranus is in Taurus and opposes Mercury, in opposition with Mercury, which creates the kite pattern. So did I do that right? Hold on, because I think I lost the thing. As the full moon in Gemini reaches its apex, Mercury, the ruler of the sign, is in Scorpio, forming what is called the grand water trine. I was right, with Jupiter, Cancer, and Saturn in Pisces. Uranus is in Taurus and opposition with Mercury, which creates a kite pattern. The grand water trine that Mercury, the messenger, participates in is offering the perfect opportunity to mix emotional intelligence with intellectual depth. A little bit of alchemy. That's what that is. Stirring it up so that we can achieve a deeper and more thorough understanding of our mental and emotional selves. The kite pattern softens our defenses and makes us more pliable, and assists on in relating consciously to the feelings that rise up within us. Uranus opposition to Mercury has the ability to facilitate a spontaneous awakening within us and gives us direct access to new insight. Previously hidden information may now come to light and may, expected, disrupt plans, beliefs, and the stories about ourselves, others, and our reality. And everything can change just like that. Everything can be fine 1 second, and in this lunar cycle, and at any point in our lives, everything can be fine 1 minute, and something can happen and change the trajectory of our life like that. Everything can be different. Funny how I said a few days ago, leeches are going to come out looking for trouble. Yep, that's what's happening, but you can see it, and now you know how to deal with it. Okay, so this isn't necessarily, so this what's going to happen with things coming up and the disruption in plans, beliefs, and the stories are about ourselves, others, and our reality, and things changing like that. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but is a necessary thing. This opposition will help us to break free from stuck, strict, rigid ways of thinking and being, releasing us from old patterns that have held us back and kept us stuck, running around in circles, spinning our wheels, just spinning them over and over and over and over again, doing the same thing over again. What do they do? What's that saying? Now my brain just went dead. Doing the same thing over and over again, getting the same result is the definition of insanity. But for some reason, as human beings, the majority just keep doing it over and over and over and over again. Well, guess what? You can get off that hamster wheel today. And you can choose to. And this full moon will help you do it if you let it. I can help you do it too. I can. Okay, so what comes to light during this lunar cycle, okay, and these alignments may be hard and they may be uncomfortable and inconvenient, but is 100% necessary for you to move forward and will be profoundly liberating. So as we move through this Gemini super full moon, we are blessed. Because, all right, so as we move through this Gemini super full moon, we are blessed because it illuminates for us a gateway to a new understanding and reality. What has been feeling scary, uncertain, and confusing right now could begin to become clear to you and reveal its reason and the underlying path so that you can identify the road to follow. It will shed light upon the road that connects your past to the present and leads to your future. It could awaken the knowledge deep within, connecting our two worlds, our inner reality to our outer. So what you need to do is breathe, feel, and connect with this full moon's gentle light as she illuminates your path, opening a new perspective of yourself and life, and helps you gain clarity on what's to come. So this is amazing because she reminds us that it's not just about us, because this full moon and its energy is all about the truth and honesty. She reminds us that it is not just about us, that we aren't always right and we aren't necessarily wrong. That our truth is just that, our truth. That our truth is not everybody's truth. And it's not the only truth. And our opinions are not the only ones either. And our opinions are not absolute. It focuses its light on us recognizing and accepting the importance of being aware of the difference between a belief and a fact, and calls us to keep an open mind and to entertain other perspectives and ideas that are different than our own. It is okay to agree to disagree and to stand in one truth while doing no harm. And that's what people need to learn how to do. To stand in their truth and do no harm. To learn to respect one another and not condemn. So be curious, explore, ask questions, listen, learn. Lean turns learning, expansion, and growth, rather than always having to be right or perfect. And this lunar's healing cycle, I cannot speak right. I'm ruining the end. I'm so sorry. This lunar cycle's healing mantra is, repeat it over and over again when you need to. I release the need to be perfect or to perfect my journey. I trade criticism for curiosity, and I trust compassionate flow of my soul's infinite wisdom. I release the need to perfect my journey. I trade criticism for curiosity, and I trust the compassionate flow of my soul's infinite wisdom. You came on at the very end, Joss. So that is the completion of this month's full moon live, and it's a big one. And there is so much going on. I've missed you guys endlessly, and I love you all fiercely, and I'm back. We have so much work to do. I am going to be publishing this live. If you tuned in late, you want to listen to the whole thing, you're going to want to listen to it a couple of times. Take notes, mark where you need to go back to, because it has a lot of information of what you need to do to get through this month and to understand what's going on and what you're feeling. Because like I said, this month we want to release and come to terms with and let go of all of the stuff that's happened, so that we can move forward and all those doors of possibilities can open. And this year, 2026, is the year we fix. It's going to be a glorious year, but we need to do the work to get there. Okay, a lot of shadow work this year. I am going to be coming back live for the new moon. I'm going to be doing new moon live, a new moon meditation. I am going to be doing a day of reflection, honoring the people that we've lost through the years and this year, and the hopes and dreams of what's coming for the future. So there's a possibility that we might be able to connect with some of our loved ones and get some messages, which is going to be amazing. I'm also going to be doing a New Year's setting intentions journey as well. I'm going to be doing a winter solstice live as well as journey. So thank you so much. So it's not just a meditation. There is a difference between a meditation and a journey. New moon is going to be a meditation. The winter solstice is going to be a journey. When you do a journey with me, I literally cross you over the veil, and anybody who's ever done it, and if you want to talk to somebody, I can connect you with them, so you don't have to believe me. You could hear from the horse's mouth, guys. I actually cross you over the veil into the Akashic Highway. And you actually get to go on a journey and experience some amazing things. So we'll be doing that, and there's going to be a lot of work that I'm going to be offering for people to participate in the new year and through the year, so that we can all activate the life that we were intended for. Okay. Also, another thing that's going to be on, which is going to be great, I am starting my podcast. It's going to be audio as well as video. And I'm also starting a really cool thing. It's going to be a book club. Now, how am I going to get you guys to learn and to grow and to ascend. So I got this crazy brilliant idea. So we're going to do some books that are fun books, that are magical books. Some of the books I love to read that help me escape, because in the mornings I actually do the reading. That's my fun. That's my escape. And later on the days I actually do my studying, my reading. That's my work, you know, my research. Let's just put it that way. So we're going to be reading different books of different people's experiences and things of that nature. So you guys are going to learn about past life regressions and healing, near-death experiences and what they saw on the other side, alchemy, all of those different things. So whoever wants to participate in it is going to be able to participate in this type of book club, which is going to be so much fun. And we'll have little discussions, and they're not going to be complicated. We're not going to be going off track. We're going to see if I can actually do that. You know, when we meet, it'll be for strictly an hour when we do meet. And then at the end, I'm going to do a live with the author, when possible, of the book that we read. So the author will come on and answer questions that people have in reference to their experiences and the book itself. So that will be shared with everybody. But the people who actually were part of the book club in the group that actually read their book will be able to ask specific questions of the author and get any questions answered. And hopefully you will learn and awaken something within you and help you grow and help you heal and do those amazing things. Hey, Jenna. So that's it. So I got a jet, but I love you guys, and a lot of good things are happening, and I will post, and I will be going on lives randomly. So you'll see me pop on here and there. Not everything's going to be planned. It's going to be very spontaneous. And you know, we're coming to the new year. Let's get those New Year's sessions booked. Let's get your year mapped out. You know, and people I'm working with, you know, I'm going to hold you accountable, okay? Because I really want you guys to be happy. And I really want you guys to heal and to grow and to be happy and successful and vibrant and be thriving in this world where everybody else has lost their mind. You know, we're going to set the tone and be the example that we want to see in everybody else around us, okay? All right, I love you guys. You can go to my website, www.oneheartonespirit.com. You know, spell it out, or you could direct message me here. Let's get those sessions booked, okay? And if there's any specific books you would like to include in this amazing book club that I'm going to be doing, please let me know, and I will research it and see if it's something that I can incorporate. And if there's any guests you might like me to invite to be on my show, let me know, and I'll see if I can work on getting them on as well. But I'm so looking forward to spending this next year with you and the years to follow. And I will talk to you soon. I love you guys fierce, and I have missed you epically. You know, this past year, I'm so sorry. I had to take a step back because a lot of things that were going on with my health and things like that I'm still battling. But thankfully, I now have the time and opportunity where I can actually begin working again. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing. You know, everything happens for a reason. But I'm back, and I'm here, and I'm with you. I never left. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.